was not, you know, while he was bullying, he didn't join the team very much in the last squad either. Let's take a look at this pick bans though. LeBlanc actually taken up by Team Dignitas on the blue side ban instead.
Exact same bans as game 1 here in the, this time not the Kha'Zix but the Varus ban in for Echo Fox. They changed up their bans from game 1.
Ashe again, I expect then for Echo Fox, pick up an Ashe. You can answer junglers, or I'd rather dictate a different lane though. There it is, the Ashe Zyra once again.
And we saw earlier that Xpecial didn't want to play the Misfortune side of the matchup. He actually went for Karma instead with that option available. We'll see if this changes with a Jhin on his side, but it was a different look over in the first one. Mirroring the Jhin, I think, makes sense when you saw that Laud only did equal damage to Keith on Ezreal, and Ezreal's supposed to do more damage there. He's a poke champ, he's supposed to get some of that out, but was pushed around in the landing phase. Team Dignitas will lock in the Jhin for Laud, and now will they mirror the support roles or will they go somewhere else? And no, they'd rather play Ryze, so support bans are available.
All right, the Cassiopeia is available for Froggen. Probably won't be available after the next ban phase, so you would expect maybe they want to jump on that, but again, the jungle as well, still the open role. So either the mid lane or jungle is going to get 2 more bans targeted at it if they don't pick that one up here.
Right, other thought being take Maokai, ban Fiora, try to push him off, and no, actually, the Anivia is available, and when you look back to the first phase, they were happy to let that one go later, and they had grabbed Rek'Sai essentially as the comp was different. So Anivia will be the grab, and now it's time for bans. Echo Fox, let's see what they are move away. Of course, the pinch should be towards support, or maybe top lane with the first pick.
Yeah, I mean, how much do you really care about pushing them off of the Malzahar and the Karma at this point, now that you've already secured the Zyra? I guess they still do. I don't want to push them past those two.
Sure.
And make them dig a bit deeper. No surprise here with the jungle bans though, pinching Akaadian more as that was the role unanswered.
Yep. And kind of out of nowhere, Rek'Sai became the number 3 jungler here. It seems like it's Rengar and then the Kha'Zix, and now suddenly Rek'Sai is back on the top of the pool. Fiora does ban it, which maybe leans us toward a Maokai first pick if they want it. Of course, there's no reason to rush a jungler anymore. You're going to get yours whenever you want it once the bans are done. And we will see what these teams actually prioritize here.
Fiora again against Ssumday, rather than going with the double support ban. So they still don't want Ssumday on a top lane carry. And hoping to make him go the tank route again. Maokai is available, so he could very well just do that again.
And Graves trying to figure out what else might be played here by Akaadian in the jungle. Final ban comes through, and the first pick Maokai does show up.
All right, now they're just turning the tables again. Hey, we had this Swain prepared for, you know, the tank abuse. Someday,
right.
Are you willing to go with the Kennen attack speed hit? You know, what types of tank abuse strategies have Team Dignitas been playing? Or is he just going to go toe-to-toe with the 2 Titans here?
Yep, Titan to the depths, Titan to the tank roll on the Maokai. It's a matchup that Ssumday won the Maokai side of pretty convincingly. Now he's got the Nautilus side of it. And I still expect Ssumday to have a very good time in this matchup, but time will tell as the time goes on. Xpecial needs now a support for himself after getting 1 band away from him. Misfortune again is what the book says. He played Karma into it last time though in game 1, and they won the game, so don't fix what ain't broken. Karma will be grabbed.
Yeah, plus, remember, it does provide that extra move speed to be able to dodge Ashe arrows. This time around, that isn't... Echo Fox aren't putting so much on those arrows, though, because they do have a really good team fight. They have Zyra, Anivia, and Maokai. So much midline control here.
Oh, yeah.
Huge amounts of AoE. Snares coming in to set up the following stuns, so... There's a tremendous amount of team fight power this time around for Echo Fox, and even with the Rek'Sai and Graves ban, Akaadian very happy to pick up the Lee Sin and match some early game playmaking potential, rather than even go for something like one of those farm junglers. So we'll see if he can catch Chaser out, because Chaser on his Kha'Zix was one of the games where he had a bit of a disappointing game and was caught out in a significant amount of the mid-game skirmishes. And this time around, it's going to be much more difficult for him to navigate team fights, as all those AoEs are the worst nightmare for Kha'Zix.
Absolutely agree. If you can find those isolated champions, though, there's plenty of squishies to kill off. Lee Sin, not a true tank, and no shielding on the squad outside of Lee Sin W as well. So If Chaser can pop off, he can really get a lot done. And he's got support from Lot on this long-range marksman in the bot role. We know Ssumday is an excellent teleport flanker, and Nautilus is good at getting onto that back line, and we'll see if they can pilot it properly as the coaches shake hands and exit the stage for the last time this match.
All right, let's get into it. This is the deciding match here for the series. 1-1 right now for Team Dignitas and EchoFox. Froggen on the signature Anivia, about to head into the Rift.
Let's see if they can make it happen properly. Again, another good lane matchup you expect here for the EchoFox duo lane, and it's going to be a fun one to watch where EchoFox need a victory finally. They've only won one game before this match started. It was a single game win over Immortals. Now, 1-1 Team Dignitas hoping to finally close out the third game. Team Dignitas here have only picked up one win themselves, hoping to make it a 2-2 end to the second week of matches as we get ourselves into the Rift for Game 3, the decider between Team Dignitas and EchoFox.
Early pings coming down here from EchoFox. There was that attempted grouping for an invade last game. This time, Dignitas are just grouping out, or spreading out into the defensive fan. And once again, EchoFox, little bit of a hint of an invade here as they put a few members on this top side.
Spot one, say no one's in the brush.
Could move up and try and get a semi-deep ward.
Sure. We're seeing lots of defensive trinkets once again. One more. Can't get the attack quite in time. But that is 2 defensive trinket wards used by Team Dignitas early, 1 near the top side, and then 1 in their bot lane tri-brush. See how many use their EchoFox. 1, of course, to spot out the blue buff start, and 1 defensively in this bot lane as well. So similar usage of trinkets.
Meanwhile, down bottom, they're actually zoning Gate off of the lane, so he doesn't get those really mid-lane seed spawns at the moment. Only defensive ones at turret. Really like to move a bit over on the other side. Maybe they sweep in from the side here because they know that Karma just pushed them out of that brush and Xpecial is in there on that ward. So they might try and at least get a 2-for-1 trade where they both get off auto plus skill and they're just targeting Laud. Xpecial's not in range. Zone him off the minion wave a little bit. Get the good volley there.
Yeah, tagged Xpecial, 73 damage. Why the heck not? As they push the minions down, it's the AoE battles. Support's trying to help their marksmen, their lane mates push in. And it's going to be till the next wave, but Xpecial now feeling pretty aggressive and getting those attacks onto Keith.
2v1ing in the trade right now.
Yeah, taking a lot of damage back. Thunderlord's triggered by Gate. +8 gold for the final hit right here, and it'll be 5 minions killed apiece. Keith knocks that down.
Yeah, generally, in these double range matchups where you have these mage supports, it's really important for the AD and the support to harass at the same time, so you get kind of the crossover in the skill shots.
Right.
Plus, you're getting each person contributing their auto. But the focus from EchoFox's side means that Xpecial is burning through potions very quickly. That is giving them over lane control, though, as Laud's been pushing the minions. So there's a little bit of trade-off there.
Well, Gate missed out on XP on that one melee minion, so he's actually unable to support on this one. Keith last hit with volley from way back into range. Keith finally level 2 from his lane mate as Gate puts in the plants. Doesn't get much done here.
Crit shot ready, too.
Yeah.
All right, Akaadian back to his early moves. He went from blue buff up to red buff.
Could look good. An early flash by Ssumday, still gonna get followed on. This could be all the damage that they need. Ssumday has just not got anywhere to go. A quick first blood picked up. Akaadian makes it look effortless.
3 minutes pushed up with no ward on your top side. Ssumday with a very uncharacteristic mistake here. No vision, no jungle support, and pushing super far against the Lee Sin. Maokai,
Yep.
yeah. Oh, it's just tanks battling. He's so good at setting up games, so I mean, especially in the early game. You're not even tanky yet. Lands the snare very easily. You could tell that Ssumday knew. He was like, oh, shoot. Maokai's going aggressive on me, and I'm super far up. So that's why he flashes early. He's like, oh, God, here it comes. And too late, though, buddy. Looper immediately answers. Meanwhile,
look at this by
Kha'Zix.
Chaser. Not gonna flash follow, didn't have the cooldowns to kill off Akaadian, but look at the pain he can bring out there.
I guess he could move up there for the Maokai. There are a lot of wards protecting Looper, though, so even if he did,
Yeah, and the wave's so pushed up, Ssumday would miss an entire wave of golden XP.
Yeah. The thing is, though, what I really like to highlight when people punish offensive flash use, right? If you flash to set up a gank and, oh yeah, you just went for a really big play and you either burned summoners or got a kill on the enemy laner, offensively used flashes like that can be punished just as heavily as defensively used ones. Sometimes even more so because you're overconfident because you just got a kill on your lane or you just got a lot of presence. But people burning flashes offensively also should be taken account of. Chaser here, not going to get anything done. I mean, he has egg on top of not even being pushed up, so just wants to get back into the jungle. I don't think he should have showed himself at all there, even considering Swamp is up.
Nice quick trade out of gate, actually gets the better end of it against Xpecial, who went for the harass and turned around by the plants. Akaadian gonna grab himself a quick scuttle crab. She will die for the cause, Echo Fox. 70 gold to Akaadian. Now let's see what's next up here. Akaadian wants to go into this jungle, look for the Krugs to steal away, maybe some pressure. Again, bot lane heavily pushed and Lot a little bit low. The flash route gonna miss wide by gate. Here's the push in for Xpecial. Exhaust force, Q's gonna land, not gonna go any farther, or nope, not gonna dive the turret, although it was close.
Offensively used flash, gonna get punished!
And Gate's gonna dive for it. Wow, the turnaround overstepping the Echo Fox support.
See, he flashes for the big play, setting up the gank, super confident. I got my jungler here.
Misses.
Oops, I missed. And over chases after missing. You gotta give up after you miss that skill shot. That is the worst feeling as a jungler. You got in a great position. Akaadian, oh, he's down there. He used the blast cone. All right, let's check in on Chaser, but it is tank to tank, and Looper's not playing far up, so
yeah.
He is level 6 for Nautilus, though.
6 for Nautilus. Hook's going to pull him away from the turret as well. Misses the W somehow, but Looper's just got no HP. Running, and one more hit will do it. Chaser gets the kill. Credit. A return kill in the top lane for Team Dignitas.
Back-to-back offensive flash punishments there. No flash for Looper, no flash for Gate. Both of them do end up going down. There we go in the mid lane. A little bit of a trade onto Keane, though. And again, level 6s hitting early here for the solo laners. Pretty big deal. Akaadian actually lying in wait for Chaser.
Yeah, wants to get even.
Very dangerous steal here.
Smites it away. Xpecial knows that Lee Sin's around there. They fight for the ward control, and Xpecial tells him to get out of his side of the map.
The reason why I say that's so dangerous, though, is because his bottom lane is not there. So, yeah, this time it worked out, and he wasn't caught there. And yes, he has Lee Sin, so you can take more liberties. But with the enemy bottom lane pathing by, they could snag you there. Doesn't end up punishing him, though.
And the safe thing for Akaadian is with the green smite, he puts the wards down in the jungle. Xpecial gonna get rooted up, plenty of damage there. Obviously a trade won by a Gate. You just gotta make sure he respects the CC. But Lot is back in base right now, so no real risk. And Akaadian got to leave lots of little ward presence in that bot jungle.
Looper CS, even with the early gank from Akaadian in the first blood,
not great.
Really hurting. And it was also behind before the answer gank up top by Chaser, by the way. So it's literally just the minion wave management, as well as actually landing the last hits with tanks, which is difficult for some. Ssumday doesn't have any trouble with it. The other thing being said is when you go for the gank, if the minion wave is stacked with the enemy minions, kills off, or with your minions, kills off so many of yours while you're getting the kill that also affects your CS numbers.
Yeah, and it's a crapshoot whether or not you're in XP range when that all happens as well. And part of the reason that pushing into the turret can be helpful is the kill doesn't hurt as much as you think it might with the minions going away. And
part of the reason why Ssumday got level 6 so early, and that was the only reason that gank worked out, right?
Yeah.
So Looper was playing it far back. He's like, I'm fine. Then, oh no, Nautilus thing 6, and no longer fine.
Ult in a dredge line, nothing you could do about it at all. And
control ward gank
was
here.
All right, Akaadian sitting on a control ward. Looper level 7. Ssumday does have access to his ultimate. Looks like he's going to push in the wave and go right back down and take more of this out.
Meanwhile, level 6s are coming in for the bottom lane. Keith with the Ashe arrow ready. Karma's speed could help dodge for the Dignitas bottom lane, but looks like Froggen wants to take advantage of that Ashe arrow. He's immediately pinged out, though, and Anivia is not the most mobile. Oh, man, they know he's in here somewhere.
Ooh, they just spotted him. Sun's not going to land. Does he have a blast cone? He's got a nice wall and no blast cone, but not going to be surrounded. Froggen gets to walk out of the enemy jungle, which seems
it's pretty scary
easy.
to run into a brush with the Anivia. I don't think they had any intel on Akaadian, so while you've seen Anivia, you haven't seen Lee Sin recently, and even though Froggen already used his stun, Lee Sin is level 6, and that combo is a huge amount of burst.
Yeah. You haven't seen Lee
respect
Sin.
it.
Yeah, then they have to respect it. All right, so.
You're gonna make a blind joke there?
No.
I feel the pressure.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, they haven't seen Lee Sin. He hasn't seen them either. Ha ha ha.
See, I got you to make the joke for me. How's it feel to make lame jokes, Kobe?
The next level Phreak, where he baits you into saying his dumb pun for you.
Caster synergy on point. Congratulations. We finished each other's sandwiches.
All right, let's take a look at the Drake control on the bottom side, because that Ashe arrow still hasn't been used, so they're itching to pull the trigger.
Yeah, Nor has curtain call, so both the utility marksmen in the bot lane saving onto their playmaking tools. On top of a ward, good seed usage. And that's proper play, by the way. Any support Zyras out there, your W range is much higher than your ward range, and it does give vision. So if you're afraid of a brush, W from that 1,000 range away, and you can know if you're safe to go in there. Smart by Gate.
Yep, so much control too. By the way, this comes from having the pink wards in the river up around mid lane for so long here from Echo Fox. And they're finally able to pounce on this Ocean Drake, which is going to help out the laning for all lanes counting here for Echo Fox, which, top lane CS is pretty big, but Akaadian is level 6!
Kick into the stun's gonna land. Look at the combo! Perfect execution, quick kill pickup, and Ssumday, why even teleport?
Yeah, I mean, the burst damage, there it is. Talked about it for Lee Sin, able to take out that Ryze. Patience. Not only do they get the Drake after this pink ward has been sitting in that lane for so long, but you go over to check that bush. They hear the dragon being taken. Dragon being taken is a global alert. And walks right into a Lee Sin.
Yeah. If he's not there, I got a ward to see he's not there. If he is there, I die. And not a great value proposition, but a good kill all the same. The mechanical execution was very clean.
Yeah, that's one of those things. There's no really good outcome of going down there to check that by yourself. And, Ssumday could have canceled that after he saw that Ryze was totally toast, but it does mean there's a teleport advantage for Echo Fox. Looper goes bottom. He actually cancels it as well, just seeing that they zoned him off with Froggen's roam. So, much better usage here for Echo Fox. And again, early lead for Echo Fox.
This is, the makings of good things then for Echo Fox here. Froggen gets a TF ban, but just brings teleport anyway and gets to make some of the same plays.
Plus, they are not on a similar timer to last game with this team comp. This team comp fights very well. Gate, though.
Yeah, that was required. Flash gets away from it. Now the curtain call. Akaadian blocks the shots. Careful, he's not moving. Picking the same angle.
Yeah.
All right, they got away with it. It's okay. Keith did not burn arrow to stop that. It was just a cooldown that La decided to just run away with now. 1,500 the lead for Echo Fox. They've got the first turtle. That's most of that advantage, to be honest. Froggen now has a nice spicy blue buff, stacking up the Rod of Ages in the tier, similar as Keane, of course.
Blue buff and Ocean Drake for Anivia.
Infinite
feels good,
man. An easy wave clear. The first 6 levels are hard for Anivia, unless you're Froggen, he's great at that. But after you've got the ulti and a blue buff, it's just super free getting all the minions. CG against Anivia, of course, incredibly hard. And the Team Dignitas lineup, pretty short-ranged as well. The range champions don't have move blocks. They can be picked off by walls, so.
Yeah, for Team Dignitas, I think they need to play off of Ryze's good 1v1, side lane maybe. Try and transition into, we need to move our ADN support towards mid lane and get the pressure on the sides. Even though Keane didn't use teleport, with the Ghost, still quite a lot of mobility. And the Jhin around mid lane does have a pretty high impact. Even though it's so early and there's not much gold there, it's a lot of damage in the ultimate, even just with the makings of a Ghost Blade. So, switch up the 3-man mid to try and defend. While Anivia is great at defending turrets, not especially great at taking them. Snowflakes.
True. Not the most damage. The snowballs only hurt a little bit.
Yeah. You can, sometimes catch people out unawares if they haven't played against Anivia in a while they're trying to defend a turret. You wall them and get a good ultimate, maybe stun combo. But against people who are, you know, have played against Froggen a decent amount, have played against her. They'll wave clear at range and try not to put themselves in that position. Yep. Looks like we might have a collapse, though. Pretty blind map for Dignitas, but they are moving everyone towards mid. Yeah,
you can see he tried to bait out Gate's grasping roots and then said, okay, he's not going for the early shot. Let's go for it here. Quick knock through. Ssumday has found Keith. Here comes Akaadian for the defense right there, trying to keep them all alive. Froggen just getting locked up right there, but Akaadian does get the first kill to Ssumday. Stun's going to land on the Keane, and in goes Chaser, but he doesn't have the damage. Law does, though, as Froggen pops, and it's a 1-for-1. Top laner for mid laner down, and now Looper, the target of attention of the affection. Grasping roots, the kick coming back in for Akaadian, looks for Chaser, and he gets several of them, even more coming through, and Echo Fox starts slaughtering the Team Dignitas lineup. That's a 4-for-2 with map control to boot, and the turret going to go down.
What a turn there. They're going to get that turret as well, just like he said, opening up the map of Akaadian, going for a kill.
The Madman, he does it. Put him on the subreddit. That was a mad lad move right there. Gives away a free kill.
He does what? Goes in on Xpecial. Wasn't expecting the flash, I guess, because even without the flash, a little bit risky there, and he gets destroyed under the turret. Gives away the double buff. Got a little bit too hyphy there. Adrenaline pumping through his blood. But yeah, definitely a mistake from him there. Ssumday goes a bit early on this, but a good snare from Lod. They get a lot of damage out early. Froggen goes into base tanking it. The problem here is that they have to burn through the egg first. So they lost a little bit of time. But look at this. Gate goes into Fog of War behind this little ramp here, so he can land the snare onto Keane, and Keane just super far up there. Gets snared by Gate and then executed by Akaadian, landing those two skill shots from the side. Here's another look at the Lee Sin hype. Akaadian had been getting kills, but Xpecial turns it around on him pretty quickly.
Yeah. I think if he doesn't flash, he might still die there.
Exactly.
Xpecial wasn't exactly low.
You get snared up. Unless Gate was some sort of healing or shielding support.
Yeah.
That is a...
I thought you were Lulu. Keane's dead, though. Nicely played there. Stun over the wall. Akaadian this time gets away from the turret. Much better execution there, but look at this Echo Fox really turning on the mid game. That's the stun combo. Look at the damage!
That's that wall play we're talking about.
Man!
At the turret, that's the play you're talking about, with the wall into the ultimate. Froggen gets the kill. Meanwhile, the entire time, both Looper and Keith were pushing side lane, so they have top and bot primed and ready here.
What a much faster game as well by Echo Fox. They're really turning up the heat here. Ironic sitting the Froggen pick on Anivia, but 5,000 gold up, looking great in the mid game.
And, you know, turning up the heat, they're the ones grouping up and trying to siege down turrets, but Dignitas were the ones that went for that play out on the outer turret. This one is just another good play from Fog of War. And again, these snares landing over these walls for Gate out of the vision. Once again, get them a kill, and then...
just laughing. What special? That was silly.
But yeah, then Keane does get hit up again, and Froggen walls him off.
All right, let's see what else can happen now. Echo Fox in the driver's seat, and their fans rejoice as finally this team is looking good in a match. This was the 10th place LCS team from the last split. It was such a rough look. They barely kept themselves in it. And now turning things a little bit better finally in week 2.
Yeah, and the, you know, speed with which they end out games, they might still be looking at, but they are looking much more focused than they did last season, right? And here they go again, onto Xpecial.
Dates it out well enough to not be attacked while the stun duration times out. Looper in the front line, losing out pretty rapidly. Gets a quick summoner heal in for Keith, and the shots in, still not going to kill off the Maokai, staying alive the whole time, and finally kill comes through. Kick brings in another one as Keane loses his life. Well played by Akaadian, 6-1-3 on this Lee Sin, playing quite nicely still. And this time with a more controlled mid game, and now they've got the tempo. They've got the advantage on the mid lane. Tier 2 going to be dropped quickly. No chance to defend it. Echo Fox furthering their lead 6,000.
Just so many AoE skills for Team Dignitas to try and navigate around. Keane and Chaser, it's pretty difficult for them to get their damage out in team fights. They're both pretty much assassins, even the Ryze here. And Ssumday, he actually hooks into the wall and then has a difficult time here. Even though they're focusing down Looper, Zyra ultimate knocks up the front line, puts a stop to a lot of the damage. Keith uses his heal onto Ssumday, and they zone out the DPS. You see those moves from Froggen? he was zoning out the DPS from the enemy squad so that even though Looper got low first, there was no extra damage coming through, and they got to turn everything onto Ssumday there. So good use of all these AoE abilities with the Zyra ultimate zoning, and then Froggen taking up the zoning duties for the team fight, and EchoFox really grinding out a solid sort of standard team fight there for themselves.
Well, everything looking pretty good now. They've been scaling up, and the damage items are in. Zonya's now done for Froggen as well, so now when Ssumday goes for that ulti, you can just turn gold and then pretend nothing ever happened. And EchoFox should have all the control they need at this point. It's just all you can really say that Team Dignitas are going to hope for those flanks to happen, but it's been such a better controlled game here from the red side. EchoFox might actually find their first match win here in the North American LCS, and against an opponent that they were not expected to do well against.
Yeah, looks to be the case here. Akaadian has had a good showing once again as well. And it's not just the First Bloods this time around. In that team fight, he got the kick onto Keane. Yeah, he had his turret time, so he got a little hypey, but in that last team fight, definitely holding his own.
Stun actually going to catch a lot of Froggen, knowing that range. Outside ring is there to hit him. EchoFox find another turret to take down 5-0. It's actually now 2 games in a row that kept Dignitas to 0 turret kills.
Yep, taking all the outers for themselves. Ssumday might get one here, but either way, I think they should
teleport.
Give up this Baron. I mean, EchoFox are going to burn through it, plus they have all the vision. All right, maybe they're going to go for it.
Right on top of the ward, they've got to Rex this down pretty fast. Chaser's here, he's gonna look! It's secured by Froggen, okay, and Chaser gonna be on the chopping block. 1 kill gonna come through, and they're peeling well enough. There's not enough damage to kill off Keith. He stays alive, just barely. Akaadian in, then out. Anivia wall put up, but doesn't clutch much. A flash over the wall gets him away from Keane, and now this poor Ryze is very, very overextended, but Rome warps right back out. Not enough damage coming out of Froggen. That was interesting looking.
Yeah.
2 for 0 plus Baron, though. EchoFox advantage.
Dignitas try and scramble to just kind of all in on that. Make, oh, we're losing slowly. We need to try and answer this, but they give up a couple more kills. Speedy Bird!
Ah, goodbye. Bird of Prey takes him out. Froggen on a rampage. 14-5. EchoFox, the cleanest game they've had all year.
The home guard teleport from Froggen on the Mach 5 Bird is going to be able to accelerate this push with Baron. They're going to get right inside. Last game, upwards of 50 minutes taken by them. Very cautious. This time around, no shuts case. 22 minutes. Inhibitor turret going to take a beating.
50% faster. Much quicker one right now. EchoFox hoping to continue to push in onto this base. Let's see. Ssumday still holding on the front line. Just gets away from the wall. But honestly, Froggen doing so well on this Anivia, playing his signature picks.
Showing why people ban it so often, still to this day.
And North America is the only region actually playing Twisted Fate right now, according to the stats I've seen. So, I mean, pocket picks really for days from this mid laner, essentially. Most pro TF games are actually Froggen himself so far this year. Of course, Anivia the same. And these pieces are working. 11,000 gold up. Now EchoFox looking for bot lane tier 2. The wave's coming in. Still plenty of time left on this Baron buff. They've got to be careful. They're stuck in a very small compartment. Knockup's going to land on a Keith as well as Froggen. And Ssumday just can't quite tank long enough. The team is going to back out.
Yeah, even though they're sandwiched into this tiny barrel and getting pelted with poke, Looper on the front line is so tanky. They have so much AoE. It's just really too difficult to actually engage on them, considering the extra gold lead that they have. Well over 10,000 now, almost 12. And they keep on rolling here. Train continues.
Looking for a bit more. Bot lane inhibitor turret under fire. When will Team Dignitas decide to defend their base instead of just trying to wave clear? Mid inhibitor is already gone. Looks like bottom is just now a formality. If you wouldn't fight for the turret, don't fight for the thing that can't defend itself anymore, and that's double inhibitor taken 23.5 minutes in. EchoFox now already have the minion wave for the top side, and Lod's got to be a little bit careful. He backs out quickly enough. And the minion wave is there. This is going to be triple inhibitor. They catch only Looper. He's the tank. That's okay. Chase from the wings. Can't pick off Froggen. Exhausted. His health bar's gone. Keith on a rampage now as well. And another turret is gone. That's triple inhibitor. Dignitas, nothing else to fight for. And that'll be all 3 down. Super Minions inside the base, and Echo Fox 24 minutes in, looking for the win now. Stunning a Ssumday. In goes Akaadian, looks for the kickback, brings in the tank, jumps back out to his team, and Ssumday has lost his life. 5v3, no defense left to be had. The fastest game Echo Fox have ever won. That's going to be the Nexus going down, and Echo Fox find their first win over Team Dignitas. I'm surprised it's done so quickly. That was a commanding victory. Yeah. I mean, smiles and happiness abroad, hugs and handshakes and everything you could want. Echo Fox.
This is what fans wanted to see out of the team, though. The last couple games, this time really turning it up. Yes, they had a much more standard comp. They have super good front line. You know, even their back line is hard to crack, considering Froggen and his specialty pick here on Anivia. But man, Keith didn't die in the last 2 games. He was able to flash around in Baron Pit as well, staying alive. So a lot of the members stepping up here for Echo Fox to grab themselves a victory and get on the board.
And against one of the sweethearts of the North American LCS, Team Dignitas still believed to be a top caliber team, but maybe you've got to question that thought as we see Keane on your screen here. A little bit down after a 1-3 start for Team Dignitas. Lost their Cloud9, understandable. Lost to TSM, okay, that one's close. Lost to Echo Fox, okay, Team Dignitas, what exactly is going on anymore? Fox couldn't buy a win, and suddenly, maybe the tables are turning. Froggen's Twisted Fate looked great. It was banned the other 2 games, but he goes back to the Anivia, and it looked like he was in control the whole way through. The mastery of that champion quite high. I'm almost certain he's the only player playing Anivia right now, and the first ever Swain in pro play this year. We saw it once in the Challenger Series, but Looper did well in that champ, and Echo Fox able to bring out their own style of picks, really, in some small ways, and it's working out for him now.
Well, the issues here for Dignitas still definitely need addressing. Their coordination. We saw it a couple times, even in that last team fight. You know, game's mostly over, but the way that Chaser's working with the squad, mostly on the Kha'Zix and the Rengar. Like, funnily enough, like the most overpowered jungle picks, have been the ones where he's either getting picked off or a little bit headstrong in the things that he's going for. Ssumday, actually, we just keep praising him. He legitimate big mistake early in the game, not respecting the Lee Sin. They did know that he started up on the opposite side. Maybe he was just so standard for Lee Sin to start top side, and top laner's always pulling. But even if he does, you can easily loop back and go for that gank anyway. So that really started it off big for them, because Ssumday has been the thing that really snowballs victories for them. So him giving up first blood and then going 0-5 this game was definitely a tremendous letdown for them. Absolutely huge letdown. I think it's been Ssumday's worst game of the North American LCS year so far. I'm sure, of course, there will be more to play, and we'll see some bounce-back performances. But yeah, a game that Team Dignitas got pulled apart in, and even the mid-game attempts to get the fights in, not coordinated well enough, couldn't get the picks off, and the damage was there for Echo Fox easily. Yep, damage was there. Very straightforward team comp for them as well, and that really helps with ending out those games because they have a very clear path to the Nexus. Yep, able to siege it, able to play it well. Good job here, Echo Fox, picking up the first win. But now let's get a first-hand account of that series